do you feel about the recent, well, not recent, but in the last few years, been a craze over vegan diet? What is your take on that? How do you feel about it?
Well, I tell you, so I I'm a big animal guy, right? Mountain Dog is that name came from Bernese Mountain Dogs. I used to show I had my first Bernese Mountain Dog. I used to show her. I love animals. There are times when I eat meat, and honestly, I'm just being honest with you, I feel guilty, especially like eating bacon, because I know how smart pigs are. Pigs are incredibly intelligent. So I'll go a year without eating bacon, and then I'll eat some, and I'll be like, man, I feel guilty. So, from the perspective of animal cruelty and the way they treat animals, I can get behind that. But when the argument becomes it's healthier for you, is a vegan diet healthier than going to Wendy's and getting those kind of hamburgers? Probably, but what about a grass-fed steak on an animal that's been raised a certain way? Like now it gets interesting. It's a little different situation. You can't compare like what you'd get from McDonald's with what you'd get from a farm, just based on how the animal's been fed, the antibiotics they've been given, blah blah blah. So like you look at fish, wild fish, and versus like salmon that are farmed, and all the really bad stuff they feed them in their little pens. And anyway, so I don't think this the information that's been given out about a vegan diet being healthier is, I think it's very misleading. And I think when they start talking about all these athletes that were vegans, they left out that a lot of them end up getting injured and have injuries. And you can Google that, and it'll show you. Like you can just Google injured vegan athletes, and all these people they're claiming are so great are now injured, half of them. Was it the diet? I don't know. But you definitely have to be more careful. Yeah, acids and what you might be missing and things like that. B12, iron. There's a lot of things you got to take into consideration. So my approach is I still do eat some meat. I have backed off a lot on it, but I haven't backed off because I thought eating two grass-fed steaks a week is going to kill me. It was more because I have a guilty conscience, man. I feel
Wow.
bad.
So
So
that's interesting. What about keto diet? How do you feel about that? Do you think that's positive, healthy in bodybuilding lifestyle?
um, I think a keto diet. I think any kind of this. I don't know if fad diet is the right word. Any kind of diet type, I think has its uses. I think to say that it works for everybody or it works for somebody all the time is that's where I have an issue. So a keto diet can clearly do some good things for you physically, mentally. There's clearly some benefits to it. It could reduce your triglycerides. I mean, it can do all kinds of good stuff health wise. But if you told me I'm going to put you on a keto diet, you're not getting any carbs, no way. I want no part of that. So I think the sustainability of a lot of these diet types, they're just not sustainable. Like I'm not saying they're a bad diet. Then you look like a low fat diet where people don't eat any fat. Like if you want to do that for a little bit of a period before a contest, I get that. But if that's going to be your eating style, like for long term, you probably want to have hormonal issues. You probably have some test issues. There's some things that are going to happen down the road. If you believe in a high carb diet, that can work great. If you're going to slam high carbs all the time, if you're in a caloric surplus all the time, at some point you're going to get a little bit insulin resistant, and that insulin resistance is kind of the root of all these degenerative diseases. So I'm in favor more of kind of a balanced macronutrient profile where you include enough healthy fats, enough carbs, enough protein, and then you just kind of tweak it from there. But I don't like to eliminate all carbs or eliminate all fat. I mean, I can see it for something like a bodybuilding show where that requires something extreme. But when it comes to just living your life, that's where it becomes, I have a problem with people saying, oh, this is the best diet ever. Well, it might be for you, but for the other 9 out of 10 people that would like to have a bowl of oatmeal, it's not for them, you know? So,
Do you usually measure all your meals as far as like by grams, like how much grams in this protein, like carbs, or do you do it by eye usually?
I do it all by eye unless I'm competing. If I'm competing, then I'm very precise. But if I'm not competing, I don't measure anything.